أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه ونور عرش أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين، حبيبنا وسيدنا محمد وآل الطيبين الطاهرين. صلوات. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله، صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا ثار الله وابن الثار والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر، وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلت ولعن الله أمة ظلمت. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاه يا أبا الفضل العباس وأختك زينب وبنتك رقية. السلام عليكم شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. هيهات من الذل، هيهات. عزم الله أجورنا وأجوركم يا Oh my brothers and sisters, عزم الله أجورنا وأجوركم. As we gather here in the year 61 AH, on the day of Ashura, and this fateful moment is the most painful moment, because the entire army of Imam Hussain was massacred and their bodies lied on the ground, and the Imam would take one by one to the tent and keep them ready, knowing that soon their heads will be severed from the bodies. And the Imam now is all alone. His little infant child has been buried in a shallow grave. The enemy awaits. The enemy awaits. They're eager to collect their reward from Yazid. They've been promised, but their promises will not be fulfilled for this evil act. But the Imam is now ever ready. Historians say that he goes into the tent and he gives his last wasiyah to Zainab. He calls her and says, give me those Yemeni pants that my grandfather left me. Let me wear those Yemeni trousers, because they don't have much value, so that when I am on that field, they will leave me clothed. Imam puts on his turban, and then he gives the will to Zainab. He says, Zainab, my sister, what awaits you is the most difficult trial after this. They will drag you city to city. They will expose our women in public. Be patient, O Zainab. It's very, very difficult for you, O Zainab. He takes her and hugs her hand, and then hugs her on the chest. She says, Imam Hussain, she says to Imam Hussain, let me kiss your neck. Let me embrace your neck, oh my brother, for soon it shall receive the kind of punishment that does not deserve to any human being. But he says to her, my sister, be patient, be patient. Imam Hussain alayhi salam says, Hal min nasirin yansuruna. He looks around, says, Aina Aina Abbas, Aina Ali Akbar. No one is responding, they all gone. And in one of the tents, in a weak voice, he says, Labbaik ya abati. Imam Zain al-Abidin hears this call. He is lying in bed, he takes his sword and he starts to rise though he was ill. Imam Hussain goes towards him and hugs him and says, my son, not you, not you. He says, Labbaik ya abati, I am ready to come. Imam says, no, the imamat is in you, you must remain, you will continue this authority. Imam Hussain alayhi salam whispers in the ears of Imam Zain al-Abidin. He says, I bequeath this imamat to you per the command of Allah, per the command of Rasulullah. And historians say that what he whispered was Ruh al-Qudus. And he passes on the imamat to Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. Imam is sad, he is crying in bed knowing that his father is going. That moment, my brothers and sisters, never in the history can we find this event. Never. Imam now puts on his armor. They say the enemies were waiting. They said, where is this Hussein? We want him. We want his head. It's the most precious thing everybody wanted. Imam puts on his armor. And they are wondering, where is he? He's not to be seen. Imam is moving tent to tent to give salam to everybody, including his wife. He is embracing the orphans and saying goodbye to every one of them. And then he puts on his armor, you know, and his horse is there, and he ascends his horse. And he feels that he can't move. Then while he has embraced his blessed daughter Ruqayya, she says, Baba, where are you going? Says, my father, where are you going? Those of us that have daughters, you know what I'm talking about. There is nothing more precious than a daughter, brothers and sisters. She's holding on to her father and says, Father, where are you going? This little Ruqayya says, I sleep on the chest of my father every night. What will I have? I don't have a chest to sleep on. Imam descends from his horse and gives her one more goodbye. How do you say goodbye to a child who's looking at you and says, don't leave, Baba, don't leave. I miss you too much. It's tragic, brothers and sisters, on so many dimensions when you look at it. It's the most fateful moment, but Imam says, I have to go. I have to go to save this deen of Allah. I have to go to kill this, to get rid of this tyranny that's causing fitna in the dunya. Imam Hussain alayhi salam hugs her. Can you imagine how he must have separated from her? Then when he hands his daughter back to Rabab and says, take care of her, that she's looking and he says, Baba, where are you going? She gets on the horse. And historians say that as the Imam approaches the enemies, they say, we saw a lion coming towards us. Imam puts on his sword and he's ready now to go become shaheed, because Allah loves the shuhada. And it is his dream, and the culmination of Amir al-Mu'mineen in with the Prophet is this blessed Imam on the horse. Now as he's approaching the enemy, Hasim bin Namir is on one side, Shimr al-Jawshan is on the other side. Harmala is with his arrow ready to strike the blessed Imam. And Imam is trotting on his horse, rotating, and no one comes near him because they are scared of him, because he's too powerful. He says, come to me, come. Ana ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen, ibn Muhammad ibn Abdullah. I am the son of Rasulullah. And they all were moving away. Finally they come towards him and they pelt him with stones, they pelt him with arrows, and they hit him in so many ways that our blessed Imam, while he dislodges hundreds of them in that short period of time, he kills numerous ones and sends them to where they belong. Zainab alayhi salam is standing and looking. Says, you wretched people, you cursed people, how dare you hit my brother, the Imam of the time, how dare you do that? Finally, after the as you know, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, when he approaches that, by the way, he has already prayed. He has already called for prayers. They say, Abu Thamama looks up in the sky, and Imam says, why are you looking at the sky? He says, Yabna Rasulillah, we want to pray. He says, oh, Abu Thamama, may Allah raise you with the prayer for once, for remembering prayer in this most difficult time. As you know, Ali Akbar recites the Adhan. When Ali Akbar recites the Adhan, Imam cries. He says, the last time I will hear this blessed son of mine. He looks at him and said, that's the last vision I'll have of the Prophet. All of this have happened. Now the Imam is trotting on the horse. Historians say the enemies were so eager to get him, but he put on a strong fight. Strong. The strength you and I must have is in that shuja'at. Let us stand in the way of Allah in this difficult world, knowing that Hussein is in our heart. Finally, they strike him with so many arrows. They say the Imam was so filled with arrows on his body, so filled that he could no longer sustain the attack, and he falls on the ground. And when he falls on the ground, he goes into sujood. He says, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ هَذَا الْقُرْبَانِ. He says, my Lord, I have trusted no one but you, my Lord. Oh Allah, we give ourselves to you, Ya Allah. And now the enemy wants his head. They say one enemy jumps over him and wants to behead him. He says, I saw the Prophet. I looked at this man and I saw his face and I saw the Prophet's face. He says, I jumped and I ran. I couldn't touch him. Another enemy comes and is ready to kill the Imam. He says, I saw the face of the Prophet. I ran away. But the wretched Shimr al-Jawshan, how wretched he was, how wretched he was. He was ruthless. He turns the Imam, as you know, Imam is in sujood, he goes from his back. While the Imam is doing sujood, Allah qad qutila al-Hussain bi Karbala. He takes the hand of our blessed Imam. Allah says, Ya ayyatuha an-nafs al-mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyya, fadkhuli fi ibadi, وادخلي جنتي. Imam Zainul Abidin hears this commotion and he opens up the tent and he sees his father on a spear. He says, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahu Akbar. Zainul looks at it. As you know, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, before he was martyred, he recited Surah Al-Kahf. He said, أَمْ حَسِبْتَ أَنَّ أَصْحَابَ الْكَهْفِ وَالرَّقِيمِ كَانُوا مِنْ آيَاتِنَا عَجَبًا. Have you not seen the inscription of the youth of the cave? It's an amazing inscription. My inscription is going to be the best in the world. The enemy was angry. They were angry, but even Saad was very angry. While he beheaded Imam Hussain. He was angry because he didn't get the bay'ah of Imam Hussain. He didn't get it. So he orders 20 horsemen. It's not enough that he's been beheaded. It's not enough that he has killed his family. These wretched animals, it's not enough. Then he gets 20 horsemen. That his anger is so much because Imam Hussain says, you will never get my bay'ah. Never. I do not bargain. رجال لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله. They say they went around the body of the Blessed Imam. And the horses started trampling his body too and crushed it. But it wasn't enough. They even took his trousers. They took his ring. They took everything from him, even his turban. These are not human beings, brothers and sisters. These are more wretched than the reptiles of the world. And then you see the days they are putting the heads on these swords. And they're putting them on these spears. They are counting the heads. They say there is one head missing. There is one head missing. So they go by the tent and they saw that Imam dug a shallow grave. Not even this little boy was left. And they took his blessed little body out and also put the head on a spear. La'natullah al-qawm al-zalimin. The Rabab is seeing a little child is not even left. Then they put it on a spear and then they carry it around. Hayhat min Abdullah. Hayhat min Abdullah. Imam Zain al-Abidin sees all of this. He says, Inna Allah ma'as-sabirin. We are of the patient ones. We will wait. We will wait, but this fateful event will be the honor for humanity. Will be the honor for humanity. Matam Hussain.